Hi, welcome back to the Geo Web tutorial series. Today we are talking about content anchoring. So far, we've spent a lot of time not just explaining, but actually in our development too, on the PCO land market. That's all super important for the Geo Web, but ultimately, we have this land market to enable something useful. And that use case is to associate digital information and media to physical locations on Earth. We refer to it as content anchoring. The idea is that digital information can be persisted and naturally discovered by anyone passing by a location if there's consensus about who has the rights to publish content there. Through that order, we can create an open geospatial browsing experience that's an evolution to surfing the web today. We think this will become increasingly important as our smart devices evolve from going everywhere with us in our pockets to actually being the lenses through which we see the world. So let's take a look at what we've built so far on the Cadastre. One way to look at the Cadastre is it's like a domain name registrar like GoDaddy, but instead of claiming domain names, we claim land parcels. The second role that Cadastres serve is to offer publishing tools and templates to landowners, which is analogous to a CMS like WordPress. Right now, there's super simple stuff like giving a parcel a name and a link to a website. This content is being added via a tool called Ceramic. It's built on top of IPFS, which allows mutable peer-to-peer content to be associated and discovered without doing on-chain transactions. Our media gallery here is the first multimedia experience that we've built. Users are able to upload digital media files here. I'm going to go ahead and select a GLB file because that's just an open 3D model file type, and we've built a browser experience around it. Once I give the content a name, I can go ahead and add it to the gallery. So behind the scenes here, we're integrated with a service called Web3 Storage, which provides free pinning and Filecoin backup of this file. Those are just concepts and tools in the IPFS ecosystem, but basically the content is being persisted and replicated on the peer-to-peer network so that it can be found easily without having to provision a database or pay for hosting on the user side. It's a pretty slick user experience. You just see, but it's just a start. In the long run, we actually think these peer-to-peer tools can end up out-competing the Web 2 approaches. I'm on a desktop here, so I can't actually go visit the Central Park Zoo to see the content I just uploaded, but I can click this button right here to simulate that. When I do, I see the web content that I added to the parcel earlier. We have the Wikipedia page for the Central Park Zoo. I can also flip over to the 3D content, scroll through this gallery. Again, not on a smartphone, but if I was, I'd be able to enter into an augmented reality mode here too. So I could actually see this horse next to other animals in the zoo. These use cases that we've built so far are super basic, but publishing new content types and use cases on the GeoWeb basically just boils down to defining a new data schema and coordinating that with spatial browsers so they know how to interpret it. There aren't any limits. To continue our string of web analogies, land parcels can be thought of like 3D web pages. And we are in like the pre-Mosaic web browser era. We don't have the do everything modern browser that we're used to, but ultimately we think we can replicate the magic of surfing the open web with a universal browser. But instead of a URL, we'll use geolocation as the key to discovering entertainment, data, tools, whatever else you can imagine. And so that's the open metaverse that we're building to. We want to see that version of the open metaverse instead of one that requires switching between apps, between every location you go to, and definitely not paying a 30% tax to Apple, Google, or Meta in every transaction and experience that you have.